Sorry, reach up, inhale. Exhale, change. Inhale other way. Hopefully no more dramas today. Couple more in each way. Please don't rush it and keep bending that knee one way. And then once you finished off the last one, you might want to hug the back of your knees. Folding forward, still lengthening the hamstrings. One more inhale into a halfway lift, long back. Hands on the mat, step back and find your high plank position. Let's just hold it here for a breath. Stacking shoulders above the wrists, feet hip distance. And then drop the knees onto the mat. Bring the hands underneath your shoulders. Few cat and cows to warm up the spine. Inhale, look up. Exhale, round the back. A few more rounds of these, linking it with your breathing. Make this the last one. Take your time with those stretches. And then come back to neutral. Let's lie down on our front. Press the feet into the mat, starting with mini cobras. I'm keeping the hands under the shoulders, elbows pointing back. Inhale, lift the upper back. And exhale, come onto the mat. Make sure the hips are staying flat at this point. Back of the neck is long, shoulders away from the ears, you know what to do. And by pressing the feet into the mat, you're making sure that the lower back is safe. Let's do a couple more. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. One more time, inhale, lift. And exhale, come down. Let's find the first downward dog. Make sure your spine is long. Push back up into child's pose. And then find first downward dog. As soon as you're there, let's pedal it out. And then walk forward, walk it to the front of the mat, feet hip distance. Once you're there, halfway lift, inhale. Really long back, exhale, forward fold. And then let's come up, round the back. Make it slow, make it safe. Once you're on the top, roll the shoulders out. Reach up, take a big inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center and release the arms by your side. We do a few sun salutations. Make sure your feet are hip distance. And then let's go for it. Inhale, reach up. Maybe a slide back bend, squeeze the glutes. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. I'm still keeping the hands on the shins. Exhale, high plank, step it or jump it. See what you're ready for. Inhale, waiting in a high plank. Maybe push the weight forward. Exhale, sinking through chaturanga. I'm still dropping the knees. Inhale into cobra or upward dog. Make sure your neck is long. Elbows are pointing to the back of the mat. And exhale, downward dog. Hold it for a breath here. On your next inhale, bend the knees, look to the front, and exhale, make your way to the front of the mat, feet hip distance. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Round your back and come up. Roll the shoulders out. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's do another 3 rounds of these, maybe a bit faster. Inhale, circle around all the way up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, high plank. Inhale, prepare for chaturanga, push the weight forward. Exhale, sink through. Press the feet into the mat. Inhale into cobra or upward dog, opening the front of the body. Exhale, downward dog. Hold for one more inhale, focus on the shoulders. And one more exhale. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Exhale, make your way to the front. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees and flatten your back this time. Hinge up from the hips. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. 2 more rounds. Release the arms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, high plank over this with the same out breath. Sink through chaturanga straight away. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Choose your own options here. Exhale, downward dog. Hold for one more breath. Inhale, bend the knees and look to the front. Exhale, make your way to the front. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Make sure you come up with a flat back, so bend the knees, hinge up. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's make this the last one. Circle around. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, chaturanga. Or take your time with it. Inhale, cobra, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Let's just hold it here for a breath. Inhale, look to the front, bend the knees. Exhale, make your way to the front. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Come up with a flat back. Sweep the arms up, inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. Release the arms, palms to the front. Release the shoulders away from the ears. Close your eyes for a couple of breaths. Just bring down the heart rate slightly. Widen your feet, open your eyes and sit down into yogic squat. Let's start stretching out the inner thighs. When you're ready, lift the chest. Move around if you need to. See if the feet are comfortable, the hips, the knees. Try and lift the crown of your head and drop the tailbone. This is the first one. It might not go that far, but that's okay. And go onto your bum. Let's do a bit of boat pose. You might want to go to the front, to the side, or pop your bum onto the mat. You decide how you want to get there. But once you're there, make sure there is a mat behind you. Once you're on your tailbone, just draw up really tall from the spine. Hinge from the hips. And tuck the belly button in, scooping the tummy. So you should feel the stomach muscles. And then release the knees. And then let's lift the legs into tabletop position one by one. Again, this is the first one. Make sure you feel the core muscles. I tend to squeeze my knees and heels together. If you feel the connection with the inner thighs, it might help your core muscles as well. Place your feet onto the mat and roll your spine, your back all the way onto the mat. Hands on the mat. Draw the knees in. And rock side to side a few times. We're thinking about plow pose, but this is the first one, so we're not taking it all the way just yet. For now, start straightening the legs and stick the soles of your feet up to the ceiling. If you feel that there is tension in the front of your hips, you might want to place your hands under your hips so that there is less effort into it and it's more of an inverted position. You don't have to think about it too much. If you feel that you're ready for it straight away, then you might want to press into the mat and roll your shin or shins over your head and just hold it there. You might want to support your back. If you're not quite ready for it, again, just lower your hips onto the back of your hands and hold it here for a few breaths. The main thing is that you can breathe, and however high your legs are, even if you're touching the toes behind your head, you can breathe. If you're in a plow pose, bring your bum down slowly onto the mat and release the fingertips. Bend your knees and bring the heels onto the mat. Extend them away from you. Reach the arms overhead, take a big inhale. As you exhale, lift your chin, start pointing your fingertips towards the toes and lift the shoulder blades off the mat. But my heels are still resting on the mat. So you start using a bit more core here. If you can, without using too much momentum, try and roll up. Keep the heels on the mat if possible. Once you're up there, feet are hip distance, I'm flexing the feet and just stretch forward. Start feeling the hamstring stretching. You won't be here for too long, but maybe just pull into it slightly. Grab the back of your legs or feet. And then straight away, reach behind you. Put the heels of the hands onto the mat. I'm pointing the fingertips towards the heels. Tug the heels up. And we go into a tabletop position. Roll the shoulder blades together. Scoop the tummy. And lift your bum up into a tabletop. Take a big inhale as you lift. Feel the opening of the shoulders on the top. And exhale, tap your bum onto the mat. Inhale, lift, squeeze the glutes. And exhale, see if you can squeeze your bum through between your wrists. So you need to round your back, and it might go through, it might not. Pull through again, going into tabletop. Inhale, lift that bum. And exhale, pull through. If it doesn't go too far, that's all right. See if you want to lift one heel off, heel down, pull through, and we do one more. Lift the bum, inhale, make sure you feel the opening in the shoulders, and exhale, pull through, and maybe lift the other heel if it's there, and then come back into tabletop position for the last time, and then pump your bum onto the mat, extend the legs, and stretch forward again. Try and lengthen your back once you're there. Take a big inhale. You might want to ease out of that stretch and exhale forward. Hold it for another breath. We're not holding it longer because we'll come back to that. And roll onto your back. I'm sitting up first, straight back. Little hinge from the hips, scooping tummy. I start pointing the toes to the front of the mat. Weirdly, it helps me. And then slowly roll your spine all the way onto the mat. Once you're there, hands by your side. Let's draw the knees into the chest and think about plow again, or just the inverted position if you want to put the hands under the hips just like before. And wait for us here. You can use momentum to pop the foot over your face or even over your head. Or if you're up for it, press the hands into the mat and see if you can lift your bum without using too much momentum. Again, supporting your back with your hands is good. Or maybe see if you can touch the toes down. See if you want to point the toes. See if you want to have the hands on the mat, under your hips. Maybe interlace. Again, make sure you can breathe. And bring the hands flat. Use the tummy muscles, draw the belly button in, and bring your bum onto the mat. Once your bum is flat, your tailbone is flat, bend the knees. Bring the heels onto the mat and send them away from your bum. Reach the arms up, inhale. Exhale, roll up halfway, where your lumbar spine is still flat. Shoulder blades off, you stop here for a split second. And then carry on with power. Try and sit up, keeping the heels on the mat if possible. Once you're up there, take a big inhale. And then straight away into a tabletop. So hands behind me, tucking the heels up, lifting the bum up. Scoop the tummy. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, lower the bum or pull through between the ankle, between the wrists. If you're ready for it, lift up into an L sit, heels down, and lift the bum. Let's do another 2 of these. Make sure you squeeze the glutes on the top. Slowly pulling through, engaging the tummy muscles. Maybe lifting both heels for a breath, and then heels down. Lift the bum. Let's do one more. Inhale. Exhale, pull through. Again, choose your options here. And then push back into tabletop position one more time. Open the shoulders, squeeze the glutes. You have the option to stay here or straighten both legs, squeezing heels, toes together, pointing the toes to the front of the mat, lifting the bum higher, scooping tummy, and holding your full reverse plank position. Pop your bum onto the mat, flex your feet, reach up, inhale, and exhale, fold, stretching the hamstrings. Let's hold it for about 2 to 3 breaths. I need to lengthen my back one more time, taking the stretch further. Just grab wherever you can. You cannot even use a strap. We'll come back here one more time. Sit back up. One more round. You choose your options. Arms up, hinge from the hips, scoop. I'm pointing the toes. You don't have to do that, but it helps me. Onto your back and tuck your knees up. Bring them into your chest, hands by your side or under your hips, depending on what you're choosing. You've got the inversion or plow pose. Use the momentum to roll over if you want, or use the tummy muscles. Find a position, make sure you can breathe. You can always support your back with your hands under your lower back. Or again, interlace, straight elbows, pushing the little fingers into the mat. One more breath here. Make sure you're breathing, taking those long breaths. Hands flat on the mat. Drawing belly button in, using the core muscles to come down. When your tailbone is flat on the mat, bend the knees. Send the heels away from your bum onto the mat. Reach the arms up, inhale. Press the lumbar spine down. Exhale as you half roll up. I want that little pause here because that's what makes it so hard. You can't use the momentum. And when you're ready, with power, sit back up, really controlled. And then straight away going for the tabletop. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands behind you and bend the knees. Inhale, lift the bum. And 3 times, try your best to pull your bum through. And maybe start that L sit position, lifting both heels off. It might be just one. Twice more, don't rush it. Your muscles are probably getting a bit more tired, but try your best. And this is the last one for me. Try and pull it through one more time. See if you can maybe hold it for another breath. Oh, the breathing is a little bit tricky here. And then heels down, push back into tabletop. Set up the shoulders, you're opening the shoulders, but you're scooping the tummy. Reverse plank, straightening the legs. Heels and toes together. Pointing the toes. Lifting bum high. Nice straight body line if you can. Including your neck if your neck can take it. For 3. For 2, make sure you feel it in the hamstrings and the glutes. And for 1, bum on the mat, flex the feet. Reach the arms up high. Inhale. And exhale, fold. The hamstrings have just worked, so you should be able to stretch them. Lovely, ease out of the stretch, come back into yogic squat. Now you have the option to push the feet to the side and just come into that wide seated position, wide squat position. Or if you want to get some momentum, wide knees, and then come back onto your knees, heels. And then find that position, let's stretch here for a sec. Lift the chest. Guys, we can, thumbs up, are we okay? Yeah, all of us, yeah, cool, thank you. Hands flat on the mat, push your bum up. Bring the feet all the way together so the big toes are touching. Hands on your shins, inhale into halfway lift. And exhale, fold again. You should be able to push a bit further, stretch a bit further on that thigh. And then round your back, bend your knees, come up slowly. Roll the shoulders out. Inhale, reach up. Big inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. Release the arms and let's start another flow. Nothing too complicated, I promise. Make sure your feet are together so we can start in chair. Inhale, sit your hips back. Arms high. Exhale, hands to heart center and twist over to your right. Press the left elbow into the right thigh to twist and hold it here for another breath to lengthen the spine, to make sure your right knee is pressing onto the left knee so they are staying together. On your next inhale, reach up into chair. Sit your bum lower if you can. Exhale, hands to heart center and twist to your left. Press the elbow into the knee. One more breath to lengthen spine. One more inhale, reach up into chair. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. This is your choice to leave out your chaturanga and meet us in downward dog. Or as you exhale with the same out breath, sink through. Inhale, cobra upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Hold it for a breath here. And on your next inhale, lift the right heel behind you, three-legged dog. As you exhale, step through between the thumbs. Pivot your left heel onto the mat and cartwheel up into warrior two. Big inhale. As you exhale, bend the right knee a bit more, sinking lower into your lunge position. Straighten the right knee, interlace the fingers behind you. Turn the feet parallel. Inhale, open your heart up. Exhale, forward fold. Keep the hands interlaced behind you. Keep dropping the head. Maybe if you're ready, lift the hands off your hips, preferably keeping your elbows straight. And maybe drop the little fingers to the mat if you're there already. Hold it for one more breath. And then release the hands onto the mat or behind you, or even grab the back of your legs. Lengthen the spine for one more inhale, like a halfway lift. And exhale, focus on stretching the hamstrings and inner thighs as you fold. Bend your knees and flatten your back. On your next inhale, come all the way up into a 5-pointed star. Turn your right toes out into warrior two and sink in as you exhale. So you're bending the right knee again, facing the front of the mat. Flip the right palm and reverse the warrior inhale. Let's hold that stretch for another exhale. So you're really reaching the right fingertips to the ceiling. And one more inhale, bending even further. Exhale, cartwheel down into easy twist. The left hand is going to go onto the mat. Right arm up. And hold that twisted lunge position. Turn the left bicep towards the front of the mat so your neck is long. Hold it for one more breath. On your next inhale, you have a high plank. Right hand on the mat, shooting the right leg back. Now you have the option to hover the right foot. You can always leave out chaturanga, meet us in downward dog. Inhale, push your weight forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Both feet are pressing into the mat. Inhale into cobra upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Hold it for a breath before we start the other side. Inhale, lift the left heel behind you, three-legged dog. Exhale, step through between the thumbs. Pivot the right heel onto the mat. Cartwheel the arms up, warrior two. Big inhale as you come up. And exhale, sink in. Interlace the fingers behind you. Straighten the left knee, turn the feet parallel. Turn the heart up, inhale, long spine, and exhale, forward, wide-legged forward fold. Hold it for a couple of breaths. Focus on the shoulders here. Slide bending the knees, keeping the elbows straight if you can. Think about dropping the little fingers to the mat. And then release the hands onto the mat behind you, back of your legs. One more halfway lift to prepare for the inner thigh stretch. And exhale, forward further. Bend the knees, flatten the back. 5-pointed star, hinge up from the hips. Turn to the left foot, bend the left knee, turn the toes towards the front of the mat, sink into warrior two. Flip the left palm and reverse, inhale. Let's hold it here. Feel that side bend on the left side. Keep reaching the right fingertips towards the right ankle. One more inhale to reach further with the left fingertips. Exhale, easy twist, cartwheel down, right hand lands in line with the left foot. Left arm up, find that twist. Hold it for a sec. Strong shoulders, stacking left shoulder on top of the right. Inhale, left hand down, left foot shoots back. Exhale, chaturanga if you're ready for it, or leave it out. Press the feet into the mat. Inhale, cobra upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Inhale, look to the front. Exhale, step or jump the feet together in the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. We're starting from the beginning. Arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center, twist to your right. Press the elbow into the knee, knees are together. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, keep twisting. See if you want to open the arms, straighten those elbows. Beautiful. Knees are still staying together. Hands back to heart center. Inhale, chair pose, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Twist to your left. Press the right elbow into the left knee. Long spine, inhale. Exhale, maybe straighten the elbows. Knees are staying together, squeeze them together. Hands back to heart center. Inhale, chair, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga, leave it out. Inhale, cobra upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, lift the right heel, three-legged dog. Exhale, step through between the thumbs. Pivot the left heel onto the mat. Inhale, cartwheel up, warrior two. Exhale, sink low. Wide-legged forward fold. Interlace the fingers, turn the feet parallel. Inhale, heart up. Exhale, fold. And drop the little fingers towards the mat. Keep the hands interlaced. Hold it for one more breath. Release the hands onto the mat. One more halfway lift. Inhale. And exhale, fold further. Inhale. Exhale. Bend the knees, flat back, 5-pointed star. Come all the way up. Inhale, turn the right foot. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse the warrior, right fingertips up. Exhale, cartwheel down, easy twist. Left hand goes down, right arm goes up. Inhale, right hand down, right foot up, back. Exhale, chaturanga, or leave it out. Inhale, cobra upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left leg up, other side. Exhale, step through between the thumbs. Pivot the right heel onto the mat. Cartwheel the arms up, warrior two. Inhale. Exhale, sink low. Interlace the fingers. Wide-legged forward fold, straighten. Feet are parallel. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. Drop the little fingers to the mat if you can. Hold it for one more inhale, focusing on the shoulders. Release the hands onto the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. And now you can focus on the hamstrings and inner thighs. Exhale, fold. A gentle pull. Place the hands where you feel you find that stretch. Inhale, bend the knees, flat back. 5-pointed star, come up. Exhale, turn to the left foot. Warrior 2. Flip the left palm. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Exhale, easy twist, cartwheel down. Right hand goes onto the mat. Left hand up. Inhale, left hand down, left foot back. Exhale, chaturanga and leave it out. Inhale, cobra, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Good time to have a break. You can drop your knees onto the mat. Find a child's pose or stay with me. Stretching in downward dog, spreading the fingertips, long arms. Let's find a puppy. Drop the knees onto the mat. Keep the hips above the knees. Walk the hands forwards. I'm coming onto fingertips, starting with an active puppy. Dropping chest through. And start feeling the stretch in the shoulders. Possibly in the stomach muscles. Keep the toes tucked under and keep the hips above the knees if possible. Once you reach your maximum stretch, draw the belly button in and tuck your tailbone, which will make it so much harder. For now, if you can, stay on your fingertips. Keep the elbows straight. I'm shaking. But you're opening your shoulders. You're strengthening the shoulder joint. Keep tucking the tailbone. I know it's harder. And then lift back up slightly. Come onto your hands and drop the elbows onto the mat. Come into swings. We are still opening the front of the body. Press the feet into the mat. Elbows under the shoulders. Roll the shoulder blades back. Just open up. Open the collarbone to the front. A gentle pull with your elbows to the back. So you should feel some kind of opening in the stomach muscles. Press the feet into the mat. If there is any lower back pain, just ease out of it. One more breath, make sure you can feel that stretch. And then release onto the mat. Push up into downward dog. Don't make it too complicated. Don't use the shoulders that much. I'm going through child's pose. Lift the right heel behind you, three-legged dog. Take a big inhale as you exhale. Lift the right heel higher, open the hip and bend the right knee. Pull the heel into your bum. Let's open the three-legged dog. Straight arms. Still dropping the sternum. I'm still looking towards the left ankle. Pointing the right knee up to the ceiling if you can, or think about it. And let's go into wild thing. I'm lifting left heel, coming onto right fingertips and tipping over, stepping the right foot down onto the mat. For now, just circle the arm around and point the right fingertips to the back of the mat. Lift the hip. Try and turn your hip, your chest up to the ceiling. Put plenty of weight into the right heel. Beautiful. Come back into downward dog. Don't overthink it. Just come back into downward dog. Once you found it, give it a little bit of a stretch again. And let's do the other side. Lift the left heel behind you. Big inhale. Open the hip. Exhale, bend the left knee. Look under your left armpit. Take your time. Feel that the whole hip is opening out to the left side of the mat. Straight arms. I'm still feeling the shoulders opening. Wild thing. Lift the right heel, come onto the left fingertips and tip over. Flipping the dog. Once the left heel is flat, circle that arm around and point the left fingertips to the front of the mat. Press into the left heel to open the hips and the shoulders up to the ceiling. Lots of back strength here. Lots of mobility, stability in the right shoulder. Come back into downward dog. Still focusing on stretching the shoulders. Drop the elbows for a very short dolphin. I know you think I'm trying to kill your shoulders, but we are actually mobilizing your shoulders. Look towards your ankles. Drop the knees onto the mat. See, I'm nice. You don't have to push back up. Keep the toes tucked under. Puppy. Listen, if you have the blocks, I forgot to ask you at the beginning, if you have the blocks, don't worry too much about them. If you don't have them, make sure you're keeping the hips above the knees, elbows on, push through, prayer position. If you don't have the blocks, you're coming with me. But instead of active puppy this time, I'm putting the palms flat, dropping the chest through. I'm still keeping the arms straight. My hips are still above the knees, tucking toes. And then once you reach the maximum again, tug the tailbone under. I like to put my forehead onto the mat. If you're very bendy in your back, you might be able to put your chin onto the mat and look to the front of the mat. Please don't strain your back or your neck. The main thing is you're feeling your shoulders. I'm shaking. Tug the tailbone. Hold it for one more breath. Drop the elbows onto the mat. Come forward into swings. Roll the shoulders back. Press the feet into the mat. Lift your chest. Feel the stomach stretching this time. Feel that the shoulder blades are gliding down towards your lumbar spine. Press the feet in. One more breath. Relax your elbows out to the side, and by your side, just give them a little break because they've got a bit more to do. Push into downward dog. Please do it slowly, no rush. I'm sitting through child's pose. I'm not using the shoulder muscles that much. Try and come a little bit towards the right side of the mat. So you're still on your mat, but there is a little bit of emptiness on the left side of me because I will need the space. Lift the right heel, three-legged dog, just like before, and open up. Exhale, bend the right knee. Pull the heel into your bum as close as you can. Point the right knee up to the ceiling. Look under your right armpit. Keeping both arms straight. Wild thing, if you're not quite sure, you might want to watch first because I will change it. Land the right foot behind you and tuck up onto the left foot flat. My left fingertips are still pointing to the front of the mat. I'm circling around and I'm trying to completely open the body up towards the ceiling, and then see if you want to reach the fingertips towards the front of the mat. Now, some of you are quite bendy. You might be able to go into a wheel pose. I can't. Just focus on having most of the weight on the feet and back bending here, reaching the right fingertips towards the mat, towards the front of the mat. Beautiful. Hold it for a breath. And then come back into downward dog very slowly. Flip around. Come back into the mat. And I'm coming over to the left side of the mat slightly, so I'm still on the mat once I'm doing the other side. Find a downward dog for a sec. And then let's do the other side. Lift the left heel behind you. Big inhale as you exhale. Bend the left knee. Pull it into your bum. Point the left knee up to the ceiling, straight arms. Try and relax your neck as well. Just hang it and look under your left armpit. Flip into wild thing, slowly tipping over. Once you're there, I'm trying to land on the mat. I'm tucking the right foot up, it's flat. My right fingertips are pointing to the front of the mat. I'm circling around and opening the hips and the shoulders up to the ceiling. See how far you can reach it, and you will also notice one side is easier. For me, my right shoulder is stronger, less flexible, so I won't be able to go that far on that side. Keep lifting your bum. Use the hamstrings and glutes. Circle back around. Find your downward dog. Take a breath here. And then walk forward into yogic squat. Sit down. Let's take the weight off your shoulders. Oh, it's quite a relief. They should feel really warm. They've worked loads. Try and lift your chest so the back muscles are still working here. Guys, are we okay? Give me a thumbs up. Are we okay? Yeah? Yeah? Okay, good. Just take another breath here. We have time to do the flow again. Hands on the mat. Lift your bum up high. Bring the feet all the way in. Hands on your shins. Inhale into a halfway lift. And exhale, forward, forward. Inhale into chair. Squeeze the knees together. Arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center and twist to your right. Press into that knee. Open the elbows if it's there. See if you can touch the left fingertips onto the mat. Long spine, knees are still together. Hands back to heart center. Inhale into chair. Exhale, hands to heart center. Twist to your left. Press the elbow and knees together. Keep checking. Lengthen the spine. Open the arms. See if you want to touch down the right fingertips. Hold it for another breath. Hands back to heart center. Reach the arms up, chair. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga or leave it out. Inhale, cobra upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, right leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, step through between the thumbs. Left heel on the mat. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, go nice and deep. Straighten the right leg, interlace the fingers, turn the feet flat. Inhale, look up to the ceiling. Exhale, forward fold. Focus on the shoulders, try and drop the little fingers to the mat. Hold it for one more inhale. One more exhale. Release the hands. Halfway lift, inhale. And exhale, now focus on the hamstrings. I'm bringing the feet a little bit closer to each other to challenge it. So you have a bit of space for your head if you're very bendy, and turn the tailbone up. Hold for one more breath. In the next round, think about doing the headstand. Not right now, but just think about it now. Can I touch my head on the mat? On your next inhale, bend the knees. Come up into five-pointed star. Turn to the front of the mat. Right knee bent, warrior two. Flip the right palm. Reverse the warrior. Inhale. Exhale, easy twist, left hand on the mat, right arm up. Hold it here or drop the left knee for a quad stretch. Just a quick one here if you want to grab it, and turn the right shoulder up. Release it off. Reach back into easy twist. Get ready for your chaturanga. Inhale, right hand down, right leg back. Exhale, sink through or leave it out. Inhale, cobra upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Inhale, lift the left heel, three-legged dog. Exhale, step through between the thumbs, right heel flat. Inhale, warrior two. Cartwheel up. Exhale, sink in. Interlace the fingers, get ready for your wide-legged forward fold, feet parallel. Inhale, heart up first, and exhale, fold. Take your time to drop the little fingers, to open the chest, the shoulders, maybe touch the heels of your hands together if it's there. Release the hands halfway, lift, inhale, I'm bringing the feet in. Exhale, fold and turn the tailbone up. Bend your knees, flat back. 5-pointed star, inhale, turn to the left foot, lengthen the stance if you need to. Exhale, warrior two. Flip the left palm. Inhale, reach up, reverse the warrior. Exhale, easy twist. Right hand goes onto the mat. Stay here, or extra quad stretch. You've got the right knee on the mat and grab that right foot. If you drop the left knee out to the side, you might be able to do more. And then release back into easy twist. Get ready for chaturanga, leave it out. Left hand on the mat, left foot back, inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Press the feet in. Inhale into cobra, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Straight away, we are lifting the right heel up. One more round. Inhale, three-legged dog, right heel up. Exhale, step through. Pivot the left heel onto the mat. Inhale, cartwheel up, warrior two. Exhale, sink low. Inhale, interlace the fingers, straighten the right leg, feet parallel. Open the heart up first, straight back. Exhale, fold. Hold it for another breath. Think about that headstand. So you either give it another stretch, or on your next inhale, you might want to flatten the back. I'm going for elbows. You can go for a tripod. Make sure you're safe. You can just hold a stretch if you want. Take an inhale. And then very slowly come out of it as you exhale. On your next inhale, bend your knees, flatten the back. 5-pointed star, inhale. Turn the right toes to the front. Exhale, warrior two. Well done, guys. You can do it on the other side again if you want. Flip the right palm. Reverse the warrior. Inhale. Give it a nice back bend. Exhale, left hand down, easy twist. Stay here if you want, or reach back for the quad stretch. Turn that right shoulder up. Keep dropping the hips so you've got that hip flexor stretch as well. Release back into easy twist. Get ready for chaturanga, leave it out. Right hand down, right leg back, inhale. Exhale, sink through. Inhale, cobra, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. And you've got one more. Inhale, left heel up, three-legged dog. Exhale, step through, right heel flat. Cartwheel up, warrior two. And sink into it, exhale. Make sure your back is straight first. Interlace the fingers. Turn the feet. Open heart up. Inhale. Exhale. Fold. Hold it here. This is the last stretch on your shoulders. Get ready to stretch again or do another headstand if you want. Inhale, prepare. And exhale, go for it. If you're staying with me, I'm just grabbing the back of the legs, a little bit more narrow feet. And stretching into the hamstrings. Hold it for another inhale. And come down very controlled as you exhale. You've got that last little pull into the hamstring if you're stretching with me. Once you're there, bend the knees, flat back. 5-pointed star, inhale. Turn to the left foot. Lengthen the stance if you need to. Warrior two, exhale. Flip the left palm. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, easy twist. Right hand goes onto the mat. Left arm up. Stay here or quad stretch. Reach back for that right heel. Turn the left shoulder up. Drop the hips. Feel the hip flexor stretch. One more breath here. Back into easy twist. Get ready for your last chaturanga. Hand down. Inhale, foot back. Exhale, sink through. Inhale, cobra upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Walk both feet to the middle of the mat and feet together. Lift your heels off. Squeeze your heels and knees together. Sit your bum onto the heels. Walk the hands over to your right. We're going to twist the back and we have a go with your hand balance. Walk all the way over to your right with the fingertips. Press your knees together. So you're going to feel that stretch in the back and lengthen the back for a sec. Strap, pull out of your hips. See if you can put the hands flat, but your left triceps are still on the outside of your right thigh. See if you just want to put some weight into it, bending the knees, bending the elbows, sorry. And then see if you want to lift your heels, stack the knees, and then come into your side crow pose. If not, you're sticking with your stretch on the back. Or maybe see if you can find that and hold that just for a breath or two. And then come down slowly. Take your time. I untangle first. I need to lift my bum for a sec, just to lengthen the back. And again, lifting the heels, sitting the bum onto the heels, walking fingertips over to the left, squeezing knees together, lengthening the spine a few times. For me, this is the harder side. And then see if you can put the hands flat, hands are no wider than your shoulders. Tip into it a few times and see if you want to release into that left elbow. And then once you've done that, land in your chair or land on your toes, sorry. Bum up high. Give it a halfway lift again. Inhale and exhale forward. Sit yourself onto the mat. I'm sitting in the middle of the mat. Find some space, wide-legged forward fold. So find a seated position. You might want to bend your knees slightly. Check in with those knees. They are not hurting on the inside, so I tend to take the heels off for a sec. Sitting up, to hands behind you to start with. So get ready, draw up the spine. I'm even lifting a little bit. And when you're ready, start walking forward or stay here and push forward with a straight back. I tend to point the toes up. But I know if you've been a dancer, you might want to point them. I prefer them up because I know my heels are often safe. Bending ones, by all means, go forward. But if you feel that your back is starting to bend too much, so if you're here, from here, you're going here, you might not want to take it any further. It has to be a straight back. Take another breath here. And sit back up slowly. Lean back. Give your legs a little shake. With the help of your hands, bring those knees together. Give them a hug. Let's do another forward fold onto the thighs, legs together this time. Move the chest, move the flesh out of the way again if you're with me. Use the strap if you need it. Inhale, long spine, and exhale, forward. You might feel you're going a bit further than before. You're nice and warm. You've done a lot of movement around the hamstrings, a lot of stretching and strength. Take one more breath here. Lovely, and relax. Going onto your back for a glute stretch, and I promise I'll finish it off here. Go onto your back, slowly or fast, however you want. Once you're on your back, tuck the left knee into your chest. Send it across to your right for sorry, that's meant to be a glute stretch. Sorry, I meant to do that. Flex your left foot and put the left heel across your right thigh. And reach for the back of your right thigh. Make sure you can feel it in your left bum cheek. Relax head and shoulders onto the mat. Slowly release out of it, other side. Your right heel comes across the left thigh. Reach for the back of your left thigh if you need a bit more, or keep the left foot flat. Keep taking those long breaths in through the nose, out through the nose. And then release, roll onto your side. And slowly find a seated position. Roll your shoulders back a couple of times just to loosen your neck up. Your shoulders, they've worked a lot for me anyway. And then ear to shoulder one way. Drop your chin to the chest as you're going over to the other side. Slowly roll over. And then feel the stretch in your neck the other way. And go back the same way, just carry on circling around. So you take the whole big circle. Change direction. Lift your gaze once you've done both sides. And then let's finish it off in a reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Thank you very much, everyone. Namaste.